presence today at the inauguration of our 18th president, Dr. James M. Reynolds. A college inauguration ceremony is a time-honored tradition in academia. It marks a milestone in the life of an institution and provides both a moment in which to reflect upon the past and to look confidently toward the future. Small church-affiliated colleges like Wilmington play a significant and often crucial role in the landscape of American higher education. They have something special to offer. Wilmington College has something special to offer. I hear this from our alumni and from our students. My own life was transformed by my Wilmington College experience as a student. The Board of Trustees shares Jim's vision for the future of Wilmington College and pledges to work together to make it a reality so students of the future can have a college that prepares them to make a living, make a life, and make a difference.
That Jim is a sincere and very spiritual individual. In 1 Corinthians chapter 13, the Apostle Paul talks about the virtues of faith, hope, and charity. When I think of these, I think of Jim Reynolds. He has faith in us as a faculty. This faith is shown not just in words, but in deeds. He has hope for a greater Wilmington College, for we are doing things well, but we can do things better. He has charity. This is not a pity type of charity, but a charity of helping, driven by looking beyond the outward appearances and seeing the person within. May we as faculty extend the same traits of hope, faith, and charity to our new president that he has for us.
I am honored to extend a collective and warm welcome to a man who has led us, walked beside us, and when necessary, encouraged us by pushing us gently, thoughtfully, and courageously forward, our new president, Dr. James Reynolds. If I were to ask someone what type of person Dr. Reynolds would be, she would most likely say, down to earth, warm, inviting, kind, and generally a nice man. We are very fortunate because we have a people's president. Every encounter with President Reynolds provides his consideration and humanity. I will conclude with another quote from Maya Angelou. I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Thank you.
My dear students, you will have to understand that in order for Jim to excel, you will have to be trustworthy. Trust his every decision. Give him time. Be patient. And know that he will make the best decisions for us as students. He'll do great at some things and not so great at others, but he'll always have our best interest at heart.
I have great hopes for Jim as the new president and for the future of Wilmington College. I want to see Wilmington become an even greater institution, one that will increase the value of my degree even more than it is today, which is significant. I wish to see the college grow in enrollment, stature, and influence. As a leader of Wilmington College alumni, I pledge to be a partner with Jim in helping to reconnect alumni with their alma mater. I want alumni to take ownership of their college. This ownership will be manifested in increased interaction with students and potential students, participation in classes and academic programs, building enhanced alumni association, and ultimately in realizing financial support for the college. Congratulations, Jim. The Wilmington College alumni community looks forward to being an enthusiastic partner with you.
Jim understands that the fortunes of Wilmington College and the fortunes of the Wilmington community are forever entwined. What means success for one always means success for the other. As a Quaker and a member of the Wilmington Yearly Meeting, I also embrace this presidency. It's always interesting because people say, well, is the new president a Quaker? Well, I can tell you that his commitment to Quaker values and his commitment to Quaker education is unquestioned, not just in word, but in deed. Wilmington College is a special place, and Jim has a deep appreciation for its history and a reverence for it. But he isn't shackled by it. Instead, he is building upon that history a new vision to take us into the future.
Perhaps it was our grandfather who instilled the value of education to us at a young age. He rewarded his grandchildren with a silver dollar for every A on our report cards. Jim was amply rewarded. In fact, he probably still has those silver dollars, a testament to his skill as a competent steward of finances. But Jim did not need to be motivated by money to excel in academics. His love for learning, begun at an early age, and the desire to share his knowledge through teaching testified to his dedication to academia and to students. At the age of 2, Jim's intelligence was evident when we realized, quite by accident, that he could read as well as any literate adult. In fact, he chose popular mechanics rather than nursery stories. Another preference was coffee with his breakfast. Now you may imagine the looks from waitresses at this 2-year-old child who ordered his morning coffee from a high chair. And here we are today, a long way from a precocious 2-year-old, a Drake bulldog, an award-winning professor, and a college dean. I speak for your mother and father, Jim, and your aunt, uncle, and cousins who could not be here today to share this with you. We love you, and we are so very proud of you. Wilmington College could not have chosen a better person as your 18th president.
Little did Jim and I know 35 years ago when, as undergraduates at Drake University, we took a public speaking class together, that we would be on stage today giving speeches at Jim's inauguration at Wilmington College. Being able to work collaboratively with people who espouse the same values and ideals, and one of them is one of the many reasons why Jim wanted to be a part of the Wilmington College community. As you so often hear Jim say, whether this is your first time on campus or a return visit, we will say welcome home and remember to come back often. We are blessed to have each of you with us today. Thank you.
From a distance, the world looks blue and green, and the snow-capped mountains white.
From a distance, the ocean meets the stream, and the eagle takes to flight.
From a distance, God is watching us. God is watching us.
God is watching
Watching us from a distance.
The evidence would suggest that Wilmington likes him, values his leadership, and well, they should. Today has the character, then, of not just an inauguration of Jim as your 18th president, but as a confirmation of him already in that role. His formal training is as a scientist, and he belongs to those scholars who dwell intellectually in the tradition of arts and sciences as one household. This, along with his character as a man of integrity and compassion, who is deeply committed to the belief in higher education playing a vital and transformative role in creating a better, more humane world, make him a most appropriate choice for president of a Quaker college. Indeed, it is imperative, particularly at this time, that young people are educated to value integrity, service, simplicity, equality, peace, and social justice. These are precisely those qualities that allow for alternatives to cruelty and violence and useless suffering. As an outsider, I say to Wilmington and Jim, keep the faith. I trust you will.
Traditionally, incoming university and college presidents are presented with a medallion of office at their installation ceremony. The new medallion presented to President James M. Reynolds today is 3 inches in diameter and depicts the seal of the college. The elements of the seal feature WC and the college motto, Non saltu sed multis grandibus, translated, not by a leap, but by many steps.
James M. Reynolds, as chairman of the Board of Trustees of Wilmington College, I hereby formally vest you with the full responsibility of the presidency of Wilmington College, granting you the rights and responsibilities pertaining thereto under the statutes of the state of Ohio, charging you with the preservation of traditions, of excellence in Quaker higher education, the management of ongoing educational programs, and the tasks of planning and sustaining future growth. Knowing that the trustees share with you the legal and financial accountability for the college, that the faculty, staff, and administration share the mission of intellectual and moral leadership, and that the students share the curiosity, the spirit, and quest for significance in this community of learning. I therefore commit to you, James M. Reynolds, this presidential medallion. We wish you God's blessings.
Is that I really believe that what we're doing today is not about me. It's about the college. It's about what we do here together. And so I'm just really grateful again to have you celebrate the college with me today. But what I'd like to do over the next several minutes is convince you of 2 things. The first is, we've always been a college that has known how to lead. The second is that our future is linked to our ability and willingness to lead. Iconic photos are photos that are widely distributed. They're photos that evoke emotion and memory, and sometimes can even substitute for written history. For those of you in the greatest generation, this is probably an iconic photo to you. This is the flag raising during World War II on the island of Iwo Jima. If you're of my generation, growing up during the early 60s, you know where you were when President Kennedy was assassinated. And this is an iconic photograph from that time. In 1968, we sent Apollo 8 to the moon. It was the first manned mission to circle the moon. It would allow us to know that we could get to the moon and get back. This is the album cover by the group The Beatles. I know some of you don't know who the Beatles are, but they were a really famous music group. 2001 brought us another iconic photograph, the Twin Towers. Now this is not necessarily an iconic photograph, but it's really one of my favorites. This is the artist Salvador Dali. I think our future can be tied to our iconic photographs. And so the question I asked was, what are our iconic photographs? This is a picture of Wilmington Yearly Meeting around the turn of the 20th century, around 1900. They gathered on this campus faithfully. They talked about the importance of education at a Quaker institution. We're a Quaker college, and we will always be a Quaker college. In the 60s, students, faculty, and staff on this campus protested the Vietnam War, peace protests. It's a core value for the college. That caused a lot of tension between the town and the college. But what I would say to you is that the students that were protesting were looking for a way of reconciliation. They weren't looking to claim winners and losers. They were looking to resolve the conflict. Our prison program. This was a place where we took very seriously the idea of social justice and the idea that education, access to education, was an important thing. It's a picture of Canby Jones. Canby's in the audience today. Canby will be 93, I think, this fall. This is Canby teaching one of his religion classes. Canby's an icon on this campus, and the reason for that is that he typifies what faculty members at Wilmington do. And that is they work with students where they're at and take them as far as they possibly can in a way that's congruent with our values. So as important as these pictures are to the college and to our values, I think there are 5 more pictures that are absolutely iconic to this institution that represent, to me, the many times that Wilmington College has leaped. Not just moved along slowly, but leaped. This is a picture that many of you are familiar with if you're here on campus, but this is a picture of our 12th president, Sam Marble. In the late 1940s, the college was running out of dormitory space, and we needed more residence hall space. Sam Marble gathered the students together and said, we're going to build a residence hall. And so they went out and they dug a hole and they started to build a residence hall. And if you look east across College Mall, Marble Hall still stands. This is iconic to me. This represents to me the idea of self-reliance. It means that we can do anything we choose to do. This is another iconic photo from our history. This is something that we always claim. This is the Randall program. This is a program that was started to help students who were not able to afford any college or university to be able to afford college. This is iconic for our institution. It's work, it's self-reliance, the can-do spirit, and the idea that we can make college more affordable. The third picture is our agriculture program. We bought some farmland back in the mid-40s, and all of a sudden we created an agriculture program. It's an incredible program. We're one of only 2 institutions in the state of Ohio that are authorized to grant degrees in agriculture. It's an incredible legacy that we have. And it's really, again, reminds me of the things that we can do together when we put our minds to it. 27 years ago or so, someone made a decision that we were going to educate students in Cincinnati. Those adults who had stopped out or stepped out of college, we were going to provide them with the opportunity to go back and to earn a college degree. We still have that program in Cincinnati today. 27 years ago, we were probably the only game in town, or pretty close to it. Now we have 35 to 40 competitors. It's tough. This is a tough program. But this is iconic for us. This is a value that we hold. Access to education, justice through education. This is an important part of who we are as an institution. And then last, many of you know the story in 2008. When the largest employer in Clinton County left, DHL took 10,000 jobs away from this county. The college's response, spearheaded by Dan and Chris DiBiasio, was to create a way to help people in town to learn how to garden, to grow food and grow hope. This is an iconic photo for us. Again, when met with a challenge, when we needed to respond, when it was time for us to lead, we leapt. We do this all the time. The motto is an incredible motto for us, but we leap. We leap continuously, and I don't want us to ever forget that, because we're going to continue to leap as we go forward. I've talked about these 4 bullet points enough over the last 18 months that many of you know my feelings on these things. This is our future. When we think about sustainability and creating an environmentally friendly campus, That's what we need to do. Work is an affordability lever. We can make college more accessible when we make it more affordable. We've done this before. We made this leap, and we can do it again. I really believe that we have an incredible balance between the liberal arts and the professional programs that we hold up. Liberally educated professionals are going to be the people that create the future for this country. And we have a market here on our campus where we can develop those leaders. And we provide, we educate, we train students in those ethical and value-based leadership programs. It's part of us. It always has been. It's hard for us to articulate sometimes, but we've always been doing this. We just need to be more intentional about it. When I think about our next leaps, I see the things that we've talked about when I presented our white paper to the campus community. We're going to renovate some of our buildings and expand our holdings on our physical plan. We have opportunities now that we had never dreamed of, and we're going to make those opportunities become reality. I think over the next 12 to 24 months, you will see an incredible difference in this campus because of our physical plant renovation and expansion. Secondly, we're in the process now of creating a new brand for the college, not taking away from the old brand, but trying to make it so that it's more recognizable. Who we are, what we do, what we claim, how we keep our promises. I believe that we can start this fall, and we will start this fall, creating a sustainable work program, allowing students to defray, to eliminate a part of the cost of college by being a part of a work program that's not menial labor, but it's labor that helps them to gain practical experience in their professional majors. And lastly, I am really grateful to several faculty who have talked about creating this Center for Applied Leadership and Sustainable Change. I think it is a way forward for us to create intentional encounters with our Quaker values, providing students with work experience, and leading them to be successful in the job market in the future. These are our next leaps. I really believe that together as a community, we can create a future for this institution that will be second to none. We can make this place even better than it is now. We can do all this together if we just let go, if we will free ourselves of the things that hold us back from our true purpose. What I'm asking for today is for all of you, students, faculty, and staff, and all of you who are now on this campus, we claim you. You are a part of this place. You can't ever leave us. We want you to be a part. We want you to help us to create our true purpose in life. And I think that this institution can thrive in a way that is congruent with who we are, will make us be different than any other college or university in this state. I truly believe that we're at that point. If you would give me some literary license so that I could add a line to the Beatitudes in the Gospel according to Matthew, this is what I would write. Blessed are the leapers, for they shall create the future.
To thee, O